Chapter 3 A Natural Born Bucker. Desperata dash. Wake up! It was nearly morning, and Cersei had barely rested the sun. Dash lay on her back, hearing Lightning's gentle words. Without opening her eyes, she gave a tired grunt before turning over, ignoring Lightning's quiet command. The stallion nudged her with a snout, repeating, "Come on, Dash, get up. It's 7 o'clock." No response. Lightning Flash heaved a heavy sigh, muttering it under his breath. "You want to be like that? Alright, cool, then fight by me." Then he raised his voice, and mic'd his poet this way. "Oh, well, I guess Rainbow Dash doesn't want to meet the Wonderbolts and show them she's the best foreign in the world. And maybe she'll never have the chance to impress them. Ever. Again." The stallion added emphasis on the last two parts, and waited for the reply. He didn't need to wait long. The moment he finished that sentence, the silent pony leaped out of her bed, her eyes wide open. With her wings ready to go, she said confidently, "Now who said that? 'Cause I certainly didn't. So what are we waiting for, Lightning? Let's hurry and get this over with." Before she continued, Dash paused and gazed at her surroundings. Instead of the open sky and the towering field of cliff she had been expecting, she saw the familiar surroundings of her own room. It took a few seconds to piece together the fact that, somehow, she was in her house once again. Confused, Dash asked, "Wait a sec. How'd I get here? I remember falling asleep back on that cliff." Her cousin, already halfway out the door, turned around to show his signature, loving grin. He answered solemnly, "I carried you." Then he raised out at the wide blue sky, beckoning Dash to hurry up. The rainbow-maned pony could only shake her head and grin before joining her cousin out in their blue domain. As the two bags gracefully glided towards their first destination, Lightning asked, "So where are we headed first?" "We're headed over to help Applejack. She runs this farm called Sweet Apple Acres, and I always head over there to help her out. You know, picking apples, destroying barns with nickel explosions, stuff like that," remembered Dash answered confidently. "If you wake up in time, that is," Lightning replied with a snicker. "Ha ha, very funny," the mayor said more sarcastically. Her lips were curled in a pout, her face showing utter annoyance. But seeing her exaggerated expression only made Lightning Flash chuckle even more. "Well, it's not my fault if it gets up at like 6 in the morning. How's any point supposed to function to wake up so early?" Dash continued jokingly. "You're right, Archeo," the steel college town replied coolly, followed by a round of fractious laughter from two pack aside. Finally, tall green trees of Sweet Apple Acres loomed in the distance. The shining red apples dotted the landscape, and the birds had begun to sing their melodic songs. Out on the field, Applejack stood, waving at the two approaching pack aside. "Howdy there, Rainbow. I see you brought Lightning by to help out," she said cheerfully. "Yeah, well, we can't have one without the other. Can't have one without the other. Always a pleasure to help, Senorita," the same replied happily. "That's mighty kind of you, Lightning. A great time, too. Big Man's out of town for the Appaloosa, so we've been needing a big, strong stand like yourself to pull this here plow." From Pony pointed over to a large contraption standing in the middle of an open field. "I hope you don't mind." The Pegasus was already strapped into the large plow, and he shook his head and replied, "No problem, Applejack. Let's get to it." Rainbow leaned on a tall tree underneath, in its cool shade, asking, "So, anything I can do, AJ?" "Sorry, Dash. I think that's all I got for now. How about you take a rest over by the barn while I help Lightning, okay?" Applejack apologized. The silent Pegasus knew that her hard-working father never lied, so she answered indifferently, "Whatever. That's work for me, then." For a little bit, Dash watched her cousin steadily pull the heavy plow across the dirt, making long rows for Applejack to apply the small brown apple seeds. Lightning was making quick work of it too, his thick body showing no signs of fatigue. Actually, it was just as upbeat as ever, heartily laughing and talking with the honest country pony. "Not bad, Lightning. You're a natural at this stuff," Applejack remarked. "Thanks, AJ. This is pretty fun, actually." "Why you overload?" the plowing Pegasus replied. "It's pretty nice to see those two getting along," Dash thought as she leaned back against the wooden barn, her arms folded behind her head in a resting position. It was about 30 minutes later, after Dash recovered from a quick nap, that she saw her cousin high above the trees, dropping apples to a bucket below. At the base of the tree was Applejack, guiding the wooden bucket around the tall foliage. "That's funny," Dash said to herself, observing the two work together. "I'm the one who usually does that kind of stuff." From her spot underneath the barn's overhang, trying to sound as unconcerned as possible, she called out, "Hey, AJ, you think I could help you guys out now?" "Nah, thanks, Rainbow. I reckon we've got it handled. You good up there, Flash?" Applejack responded while holding a book in her teeth. "Is there bien, Applejack? I'm good," your lightning streak Pegasus remarked. dropping a large, juicy apple in the waiting bucket below. Dash tapped her hooves on the ground patiently, slopping to the ground. She gave a long, annoyed sigh, hoping her cousin had heard it. The package anxiously looked up at the sun's position, which showed it was only 7:45 a.m. How long am I going to be sitting here? She thought as she gazed upon the many acres of apple trees, waiting to be plucked. Wanting to show her usefulness, Dash shouted again. You sure I can't, hold the bucket or something? After I called out once again, No, pretty sure we're good. Disgruntled, the silent Pegasus plodded into the barn, uttering, Fine then, more rest for the Wonderbolts. When in truth, the Wonderbolts weren't the only things the young fly worried about. Not knowing how to busy herself, Artie just sat on her hind legs, biting her lip as she watched the duo move along with their duties. The Pegasus soon found a discarded apple core and began to fit around with it, glancing up every now and then to check on her friends. But every time she'd look up, she'd find her cousin doing yet another job usually would serve for herself. Normally, the lazy fly would have jumped at the opportunity to do her work. But for some strange reason, Dash couldn't shake his disheveled feeling in the pit of her stomach. It was around 8:50 when Applejack and Lightning finished their duties. The 2 points sat under the shadow of a tall apple tree, sipping ice-cold apple cider. Dash sat across from them next to a low shrub, coming with an unsure grin on her face. So, you guys done with everything? I do believe so, Dash. You two are free to go, AJ replied, taking a huge gulp from her glass. As the two Pegasus began to fly off, the farmer called happily, And feel free to stop by any time, you two. Rainbow lightning flew high up in the sky, grazing the clouds with their manes. The air blew steadily, therefore, as they soared across the horizon towards the next destination. Lightning, with a satisfied look on his face, told his cousin, Applejack's a fine pony. Article, he's really nice. And hardworking. Dash, however, did not return her cousin's gaze. She's still looking straight ahead, she replied, Yeah, she's cool, I guess. Sam was his cousin avoided his eyes, so yeah, he's concerned. Are you okay, Kriba? This time, Dash looked back at her cousin's hazel eyes, albeit anxiously. She unsteadily replied, Yeah, I'm fine. It's just because that took longer than expected, that's all. With the shrink grin on his face, Lightning replied, Oh, don't worry, Dash. We'll finish this stuff with no time to practice, okay? Dash turned and gave a small smile. Satisfied, her cousin next. So, who are we helping next? We're gonna go to Rarity's next. Apparently she wants to fluff my image, whatever that means. So, girls still pretty much? Lightning replied, his eyebrow cocked. With a laugh, Dash said, Heck, I don't like any more than you do, cuz. At that moment, Lightning began to imagine his cousin in a long, shimmering nightgown, makeup accentuating her broad features, her rainbow mane put into her elegant braid. Nope, can't do it, he thought. Apparently, Dash had read his mind and replied indignantly, Hey, I could look nice if I wanted to. And yet, even she couldn't say that with a straight face. Keys is upgrading powerful readers. Do you know what, but for 1,500 word chapter, it kinda maybe gave me some trouble. Maybe it's writer's block, you know? I know how that feels. But as usual, I would love to hear what y'all think, and if there's anything I can improve on, then please, review.